wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
All dried up, you ain't got no eggs. They're all gone. I was gonna throw this up on the computer screen until I threw it up on the computer screen. Time magazine of all things. You guys are still around? And just I think Time is owned by private equity, and aside, the enshittification is painfully obvious. Oh, I remember when this was the bee's knee. Like, this was the this is what the adults read. Time Mag, oh, serious. America sucks. Ronald Reagan bad. And you're sitting there in a dental office. I mean, who is writing at Time? And I guess who is this gal? Charlotte Alter. Let's look her up. Charlotte Alter, correspondent. Yeah, this is younger gal. This is a younger gal. Now, do you have enough? So you got more subscribers than me. Come on, just say you got more than me. 65,000. Okay, so this might actually be a somewhat influential journalist. Working women are planning more, which is why some are freezing their eggs. Oh, man. In my vision going, I need a new set of glasses. Women seem to have gotten the message that if we want to have both professional success and a family, we better plan it out. That's the point of a New York Times piece this week that concluded that millennial women are leaning away from millennial women. What now? Like, it's July of. Oh, wait. Never. Wait. Okay, this is 2015. Thank you for the precision, but it's too. I thought it was July of this decade. This is almost a decade old. How did it work for you? I guess this will be a retrospective piece. Millennial women. Yeah, here. Okay, I could see it looked like 2025. It's July 23. Yeah, which is 2 days from now. 10 years ago. All right. How'd it work? We still got our student loan debts? That's the part of a New York Times piece this. So you girl, now listen. If I did this right, you girls are listening to Time Magazine, the New York Times. This is 10 years ago. You listened to Democrat teachers. You were reading whatever. Were you girls listening or reading the Vogue teen magazine slop? This is what informed your decisions. I know, Ward Cleaver and boring old stodgy conservative type. I don't even mean Republican. I just mean conservative traditional. Ugh. Ugh. That's the point of a New York Times piece this week that concluded that millennial women are leaning away from leaning in and instead scheduling family phases into their career plans. What's a family? Here's how the Times' Claire Kane Miller puts it. Why are you quoting all these other people? Why don't you just write the article? You might call them the planning generation. Their approach is less all or nothing, climb the career ladder or stay home with the children, and more give and take. Well, you can have it all. They're anticipating that in some way they're going to have to dial down or integrate their career. And they're like, really? I thought you could just go full throttle afterburners career, 120%, and then children -2 or -20. Said Carolyn Gazin, chief executive of Level, an online professional network focus on millennial women. Is that still a thing? Let me. Oh God, this is great. Caroline Gazin, Levo. Is this still? God. Oh, just I'm so sick of their profile pictures. This whole industry where it's the blind leading the blind, and it's all about just being popular on the internet. And let's not get girl. This is just it's like the girl boss. El Caroline, no way. No way. God. Caroline Gozin is the eldest child of former Nissan and Renault CEO Carlos Gozin. What? You know, Nepo babies should just shut the fuck up and not give advice on anything. Just your advice is be rich. Levo Company. Levo was founded by Caroline. Okay, we got a Wikipedia. It's not. It's not even pulling up on Wikipedia. Why can't I find it? Did you get some what's it called? Sweetheart, did you get some coma money? Did daddy give you some coma money? Where's the art? Wait, well, I thought she was an expert. Guys, do you see where the fucking media sucked so much back in the day? Time Magazine quotes some Nepo baby idiot. I'd love to use a different word. And she's giving advice. See, according to the Times, is that what y'all do? You just quoted each other? I can't imagine why you millennial women are bearing Karens with fucking student loan debt and like living paycheck to paycheck. You might call them. They're anticipating that in some way they're going to have to dial down and say Caroline goes a chief executive of Levo, an online professional network focused on millennial women. This reality is something that people are a lot more transparent and open about. When you've grown up with as many conflicting messages about work and family as millennials have, no, they were pretty clear with you. Fuck the family, go be a girl boss, right? Where was the counter? Where was the conservative, again, not politically conservative, where was let's say traditional, where was the traditional message? We've been thoroughly disabused of the notion that having both a thriving career and a family at the same time is easy or even possible. What? I'll grant you maybe some of the younger millennial women, reality started settling and like, yeah, we did the math and Oprah was full of bullshit. So the natural reaction is to stagger them, first one, then the other. So naturally, all you girls to say, hey, we got this thing called menopause. We really ought to focus on the family first and then focus on our career. So we have the healthiest of eggs, right? What loves me about the whole egg debate is of course, naturally, I'm generalizing here, is it shows you how what's the word I'm looking for? It's the epitomal example of the perfect mental state, which is having your cake and eat it too. Like nature, the laws of fucking nature are telling you, look, you really ought to have your kids first and your family second. I'm sorry, you really ought to have your kids first, family first, and then your career second. But you'll be telling girl boss what to do. And they through what I can only imagine is conditioning and brainwashing and propaganda or marketing where you girls were just, hey, you got to get a girl boss. Go make the money. Go have the career first. It just ignoring a black and white fact. Like, you really ought to reverse this. You got to focus on the family first, then get the career. I know. They want it. What was it? I was trying to listen to a YouTube channel that I previously listened to, probably going to unsubscribe to, talking about some Hollywood gossip bullshit. And the one actress divorced her husband and literally said, because I never got to go out and get drunk and party like the college girls did. Got 2 kids and a marriage. Of course, Hollywood married to throw it up there. But that was her thing. I missed out on the college experience. What, you can't go get drunk with your husband, there or he I'm seriously, hear me out on a piece of paper. All right, you girls, you go have kids at 19, 20, 21, right? Awfully early. And by 30, the kids kind of can take care of themselves. Dad can watch over them. House ain't going to be on fire when you get back. You say, hubby, I want to go have the college experience minus getting dicked down by a bunch of dudes. All right, I just want to go and party with my besties. And you could say, yeah, go ahead, get out of your system. Have fun. And then you'd realize it was a waste of fucking time. It was, although I don't know, maybe I've always said nightclubs, which are dying, were always just cathedrals where you could worship women. Maybe you girls, maybe that feeds your soul. You just like, go dance with her. Maybe, not being a woman, I couldn't speculate. Maybe there is actual value in that for you. Maybe it's really important that you go and party with your besties and wear the same outfits and get drunk. I don't know. Go have fun with that. I'm not judging you. It still doesn't disprove my point that nature would be like, hey, maybe you ought to have your kids first and then go be girl boss, party girl, whatever. Of course, that might throw a wrench into your. I'm not the career girl boss. Go make the money. Absolutely. Men love it when you women actually make your own money and pay your own debts. We love that. That's awesome. Kind of insist on it now because you keep voting to take about 40% of our paychecks to support the degenerates that you wanted to raise. But the whole point is we love it when you girls are fiscally responsible. But yeah, you want to go party in your 30. Oh my God. How was it? Did you have fun? You hang on there this morning? Yeah, well, your kids need you. Well, it is. It really, based on choices, young women really want that party phase. Let's put it that way. Where would you girls rank it? I know there was polling that I cited by Pew Research, I believe, one of the books. And it was depending on the age cohort, but generally it was education, career, finances, not an irrational selection, travel / something, recall correctly. And men and children were sixth, depending on the age cohort you were in, somewhere around there. Is it that important you girls have your party? Do you really, okay, you had a party phase for a year, right? I knew one young lady. She went to one house party and one nightclub when she went off to college. She said, this is dumb. I'm like, kid, I wish I was as smart as you. Or is this going to be a 10-year thing? Is the celebratory worship being praised and honored for simply being a young woman? Is that really important to you? How important is that to young women or women in general? I mean, that ain't even career or family. That's just a phase, I guess. They can choose a career first and family later, but that's a tricky gamble because fertility declines with age. All right, this gal's being empirical. She said the quiet part out loud. Why is she still alive? Shouldn't she have been murdered by the... That's where egg freezing comes in. For a generation of women who tend to be more practical about plotting their career and family trajectories. I can't believe this is millennial women. That's what Time Magazine. Egg freezing is marketed as the best way to do just that. With a frozen egg, they're told they could easily start a family throughout their 40s. Fertility marketers call it an insurance policy that can help women smash the biological. Whether you believe it or not, I actually do care about women, which is why I'm so harshly constructively critical. You girls would call it hate. We men just call it the truth. Which book was it? Was it The Menu? Dude, this egg freezing thing is not a sure shot. It's you're looking at like a 40% rate depending on how you want to measure success. Like the egg's gotta It's got to be extracted. It's got to survive the freezing process. It's got to survive being frozen. It's got to survive thawing. It has to take. And then the kid can't have no, disabilities, generally speaking, right? You don't want to have whatever diseases or impairments or have it be a boy, right? You start all over again. And it's expensive too. I, That's an idea with obvious appeal to young women. It gets into all the mixed messages that women constantly told you, like, you can have it all, you can have it all with dating. First, it's like, don't settle. Then it's like, marry him already. I don't where were you getting the counter side? Where was the traditional arguments coming in? I'm sure one or two people might have said it. But if I were to recall the past 10 years of messages, whether it was social media or just hanging out in public, I never heard tickety talk. Then it's like Miriam already says, Eileen, a 28-year-old who works in education. Guys, look, ladies, an aside. For you younger gals, look, you want to find a guy, can you not be like every other girl out there that just is a bot? People can't fall in love with bots, right? We can't fall in love with things. And when you're turned into an NPC, a non-thinking bot, I will major in education to help the children. Up. I'm not saying your career choice is going to give you a personality, but oh shit, she's a mechanic. That's kind of interesting. Oh shit, she's not a feminist Democrat. I'm not saying you vote Republican, but can you stop all being Jennies? Can you stop being so monolithic? Nobody can fall in love with the Borg. Do you know the Borg? Next Generation Star Trek? Anyone? Nah. Oh, who works in education, considering freezing her eggs when she can afford it. Everyone else, like, do this, do that. And it feels like you're never getting the truth about what you can do, what you can have. Okay, 10 years later, based on your generation, ladies, I'm being serious about millennial women. Can you tell which advice was right and which was wrong? Can we start moving together as a society, apolitically and purely empirically? Hey, this worked and this didn't. And can we admit that most of the advice you got was wrong, right? You all say you were lied to and you were, but can you girls admit? I wonder if she got her kids. Because now she's 38. Got no eggs, all dried up. Eileen asked that her full name not be used because of the personal nature of this fertility decision. Jen Statsky, 29-year-old TV writer. God, was a fucking engineer. Jen Statsky. Let's look her up. Oh, I love Statsky. Jen Statsky. I mean, she's going in here. Came up. Come on, man. Hey, wait, did you just ask all your besties? Oh man. Good place, Parker. Hacks, multiple awards, primetime. Oh, looks like she does have a career. Okay, that's good. Working a cop. But now I'm wondering, like, are you guys friends? Books, quite a long writing career. Did she get her kids? Personal life. Married. No mention of a kid. Okay. Well, means 39. TV writer said she considered egg freezing just to give herself more flexibility. I feel I've been pretty lucky with my career and I'm happy where I am at 29, but there's so much I want to do. I enjoy my life the way it is right now. She says, and theoretically, I can't see being ready for children before the age of 35 or 36. I would push it to 50 if I could. Then don't have a kid. Kids are not things. I mean, yes, in a very literal sense, they are things. but they're little human beings that have little feelings. And I would push it to 50 if I could. Yeah, that's like a no. Occasionally I get people asking, well, I don't know if I should have kids. That's a no. Look, if you don't know, it's a no. Don't like, the kid grows up. Dad, did you ever want to have me? Not really. Maybe. Thanks, Dad. Eileen feels like anticipating a family could keep her from making radical career switch at this stage of her life. If I were to start a new career at this point in my life, of course, as a female, you're always thinking, how would it work out? How would I get years under my belt without leaving the workforce? Dilemmas like these, combined with recent technological advances, have led to a surge of the procedure. Since 2009, egg freezing's popularity has increased more than tenfold. Fertility marketers are predicting by 2018 more than 70,000 women will be freezing their eggs. The American Society of Reproductive Medicine lifted the experimental label from the procedure in 2012 after the quick freeze vitrification method was developed. Scientists discovered that quick freezing eggs worked much better. Which kind of scientists? Were they penide scientists? Was the color of the penide on the penide scientists white guys by chance? Maybe those hated people. I wonder who developed that process. Was it the patriarchy that developed? I just if you want to know more about there's just one problem with using egg freezing to help the perfect career trajectory. It doesn't necessarily work all that well. Okay, this is a fair article. Although egg freezing is marketed to anxious women as an insurance policy, there's not yet any major studies about success rates. The initial numbers obtained exclusively by Time suggest that in 2012 and 2013, only 24% of egg thaws resulted in a live birth. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm sure we got more updated data since when I wrote the book, about 3-4 years ago. So if women are using egg freezing to plan their perfect careers, they need a plan B. That was it. That's a fair article, actually. Let's go to the next article here. Nope, that was the one I had. This one, I'm just gonna use my phone because all these websites are nightmares. I don't necessarily like getting articles, but it's, you can't make it up. Although with Business Insight, you never know. A millennial woman who made nearly $250,000 secretly working 2 jobs. Oh, you mean like everyone else did before? Oh. Says it helped her enter a relationship for the right reasons, not financial security. 2 years ago, Olivia was struggling to just get ahead financially. This is also probably a good kind of article where it's like, oh, good, you actually worked. No, I don't want to subscribe to your fucking article. Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, Business Insider, you're going to make me pay to read this article. No. Let's see if I can't find it on the other. Home budget. This is old too. What the? Millennium woman made $250,000 last year. It's all pop up. 2 years ago, Olivia was struggling to get ahead financially. While she was making over $100,000 a year in a communications role, a significant amount of her paychecks were going to her student loans, medical debt, and a car payment. Why do you have a car payment? By the way, ladies, my what do you call it? Flagship book called Bachelor Pad Economics. Women can read it too. Financial planning doesn't have a gender. Doesn't. Still, it's math. Medical debts and car payments, leaving little left for her savings. The 37-year-old, who's based in California's Bay Area, told Business Insider via email. One day, a former coworker gave her idea she could look for a remote side gig to pad her income, not bother disclosing it to her current employer. So I know a gal who did it. Bravo, madam. Bravo to both of them. I know this gal. She works 2 full-time jobs remotely because their family needs it. Because maybe, never mind. Let's just say there's a problem when you girls marry Democrat men. Let's just say that, okay? So Olivia decided to give it a shot, and it paid off. Last year, Olivia made nearly $250,000 secretly working her full-time jobs, which required her to work from the office a few days a week and a part-time remote contract role. She said she collectively worked between 60 to 70 hours in a typical week. Oh, I love it when just people, I'm not picking on you millennials and you younger people, because here's the deal. College, full-time, school, full-time work. Throwing afterburners the entire time. Dude, 80 to sometimes 130-hour work weeks. But Cappy, there's only 168 hours in a week. Yes, I know. I'm aware. And it didn't stop there, right? Then there was the regular working, and then I had to go teach the dance classes, which is, you're right, it's debatable whether that's actual work, but you're driving out there, you're standing, you're occupied. Teaching finance courses and statistics. And then also, what was work at security. Dude, it wasn't until I was damn near 40. I wasn't working 60 to 70 hours a week. It just hang on. Hang on, madam. You're in the Bay Area. Let's do some math. Do you like math, madam? So we have to pay 40% taxes, ever so roughly speaking. You a lot more in the Bay Area because you just couldn't vote Democrat hard enough. Let's just say 40%. Now, of that 40%, roughly 70% of that money goes to other people, the welfare state that you girls just can't get enough of. You literally vote to give away that much money to other people because it makes you feel good. So let me do the math. So it's a 40% tax rate, 70% of which goes to other people because we do pay for things we actually see an investment on, like roads and defense. So that means roughly 28%, which I already knew the number, of everyone's income goes to pay for people who don't want to work for a living. That's facts. Just love oh my God, I love the welfare state. So that means 72%. You only really need to work. If you didn't have the welfare state, you only need to work 72% of what you're working. So you're working 65 hours a week times 0.72. Does this come close to 40 hours a week? What is it? Oh my God, 47 hours a week. You wouldn't have to work so much. Ladies, men are not dumb enough to say, I want to have it all. We know it's not. We can't. We just know we do the math. You girls would do yourself a tremendous favor if you stop voting to take one in every four of your dollars away to give to the fucking degenerates of our society. I know you want to take care of people. I know it's to be popular to vote Democrat. I know you have nothing left to live for in your life except for fucking socialism and virtue signaling. But maybe life would be a lot easier if you basically had 33% more income. Yeah, I'm no economist, but just would a 33% increase in your pay help? Could you pay off your student loans? Oh no, we got to vote to pay for a fucking homeless degenerate so he could get his free drugs. Oh. Including some early mornings, evenings, and weekends. So you were a dude. Okay, I get it. But that the extra hours were well worth the money. That's because the extra income helped pay off her last $20,000 of her student loan debt, afford an elective surgery her insurance wouldn't cover. I got it. You got to now. At the same time, I have to applaud Olivia. Bravo, madam. This is outstanding. This is a quality woman that you would look to and say, hey, she did her thing. Boost your credit score from the 700s to the 800s. Buy a second car, book a 2-week vacation, get a gym membership, and afford healthier food, Olivia said. What's more, she said the reduction in financial stress that came with higher income is a key reason she's in a healthy romantic relationship for the first time in over a decade. Not necessarily wrong. You ladies, what is it between 18 and let's call it 35? All right, that's the dating market roughly. What is 25 and 80? No. 18 to 35. what percent of you come to a relationship with debt? It's got to be like 95%. And most men have debt too, but you come into debt, you come into the relationship with some worthless horseshit degree, student loans still. Yeah, that's not going to help any relationship. And men, the same thing for you, except you guys are idiots. You guys go major in good things more, not always more than women do. But then you guys just throw that shit away and you go get yourself a Hellcat at 72% interest rate. Imagine that financial stability might lead to healthier relationships. However, there's one area where Olivia's income still feels frighteningly insufficient, the housing market. She said her combined income isn't high enough to qualify for many mortgages in the vicinity of her office, where she said the average home price is well over 1 million. But California is the socialist democrat utopia where everything should be affordable, right? Isn't it ironic where the most amount of Democrat policies have been implemented? I'm sorry to introduce politics, ladies, but you're the ones looking at $1 million home with a $250,000 income that you're not qualified for with a high credit score. Isn't it interesting that for 50 fucking years, all these policies have not resulted in anything approaching what they claim would happen? And if anything, it made it worse. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Nah. We just didn't tax enough. We just don't have enough adult Democrats shitting in the streets shooting up needles. In California's Bay Area cities of San Francisco and San Jose, a homebuyer would need an income of more than $400,000 to qualify for a standard mortgage and median home price, according to the New York Times analysis of Redfin data published last year. What's more, home prices in the Bay Area have risen further over the past 12 months. I Maybe you didn't hug enough illegal aliens. Maybe enough liberal white women didn't hug illegal aliens enough. That's what it is. That's what we need to do. Additionally, Olivia says the high cost of rent, car insurance, groceries, utilities in her area have made it difficult for her to save a down payment. According to analysis following the doxo, if employers aren't willing to pay anyone, even educated professionals, enough to live, then they can hardly be surprised that their employees are pursuing multiple sources of income. And I'd like to also point out something to Olivia. You got an online contract gig, right? Think about how much freedom that allows you now. I'm Girl Bosses of America. Sit down. This is going to floor you, okay? You're going to probably pass out. Maybe get someone to make sure you don't fall out of your chair and hit your head on something, okay? Get this. Pause it now. Get the safety person. All right. I'm going to tell you something. If you have remote employment, you don't have to live in downtown Democrat shitholes. Okay? I know. I You could move to other places where there's an affordable housing market. Oh, yeah, yes. Yes, madam. Your question back there. Would I have to give up brunch with my besties? Yes, but that was going to happen inevitably because your besties will betray you like Judas. It's happening. They will, for 30 shekels of silver, they will betray you. You will have to give up brunch. High standard of living or brunch? Uh, said Olivia, whose identity is known as blah, blah, blah. Olivia is among the overemployed American. Overemployed, dude. Don't tell me that. That's like a third of guys. All right, there's not overemployed Americans who have secretly had multiple jobs to boost their incomes and job security. Be 2 dozen of job jugglers. These people have earned as much as $1 million annually across their roles and use extra money to pay off their student debt, afford luxurious vacations. God Almighty, what's with you kids? I should say, what's with you kids? Every generation, boomers. What is with you Americans? God damn it! Just ads popping up. Guys, afford freedom. Go get my book, Zero World Problems, okay? That'll tell you what to pursue in life. You all get free, and then you go and you piss it away on luxurious vacations. What? Maintain your freedom. Get the micro FU fund. They get out of their student loan debt and when they go get a car. Like, what the fuck, man? You were free. Most overemployed people BI has interviewed have been men. No kidding. Realize. In part because IT and tech companies, popular employers for job jugglers, due to the prevalence of remote roles, tend to be more male dominated. However, some women are also working multiple gigs on the sly. Good for everyone. Good for all of you. While some companies may be okay with their employees taking on a side gig, doing so without employer approval could have consequences. I guess we just don't tell you. Right now, right out, every employer in America, go fuck yourselves. You want people not to work on the side? Well, then you better pay a living wage. Surprise. Oh my God, your wife isn't fucking you at home? Can you believe he stepped out on his wife and started banging another girl? Surprise. How dare you? Fuck you, people. Olivia shared how she managed to juggle both jobs. I'm going to guess with good time management and a lack of sleep. Has improved her romantic life and whether she thinks her job juggling is sustainable. Juggling a full-time hybrid job with a part-time remote gig and keeping it a secret from your employers could be quite stressful. Of the 60 to 70 hours she worked between both jobs in a typical week, she said between 20 and 40 were dedicated to her contract gig. She focused on this gig in the early morning, in the evening, on the weekends, or during working hours on the days her full-time employer allowed her to work from home. She said her contract, dude, I'll tell you right now, there's rarely, if ever, a 9 to 5 job where you're going to be working 8 full hours a day. Rarely. Uh, Both jobs, different industries, meaning it's less likely either of her employers would uncover a job juggling, she added. While overemployment has increased Olivia's work related stress, it's reduced her financial stress, something she said has helped her pursue a healthy romantic relationship. I know I'm in the relationship for the right reasons, not financial security. I don't feel like I am or will be a burden on him. Good for you. Good for you. We have floated the idea of starting a family, which previously would have been an absolute no from me due to financial constraints and stress. Right. Because women, and a lot of times men, bring debt to the relationship because you all majored in bullshit or didn't go to an appropriately priced university. Olivia says she expects the boost overemployment has provided to her finances may be relatively short-lived. That's because the long working hours could take a toll and remote job opportunities can be difficult to land. I don't believe that I can maintain this kind of life for a couple more for more than a couple years, she said, adding, I have no delusions of an early retirement. For now, Olivia says she's trying to last as long as she can. A few months ago, she swapped her hybrid job for a fully remote role that pays more and offers considerably better work-life balance. Well, I wonder what she majored in. I'm guessing it's something worthwhile. You don't get these, remote gigs, tossed to you unless you have some kind of skills. Made more money, worked fewer hours. Sometimes in mind how far she's come. For example, a few months ago, she was able to pay over $3,000 for vehicle maintenance and expenses without taking any credit card debt. What would have been a tremendous stress a year ago and likely require sacrifices for months is just a minor inconvenience, she said. What? Look at that. You becoming an adult. Ba 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 ba. Perks higher. I'm moving out of poverty and a survival mindset. She added, I feel like I can agree to outings without looking at a menu cost or could grab something on the store on impulse. I'll tell you that. That's one thing. Now, I don't make no $250,000 a year. I'll close this out because it's probably sopping up the resources. I don't make no $250,000 a year. Look, let me just, and it's it. Go get the book. Zero World Problems. What I love most about my standards of living, obviously the freedom, but that's more afforded to me because of you kind men and women who allow me to mouth off and you guys give me money and advertising dollars through YouTube. But with my frugality and the money I saved up before and consequently the very low expenses I have today, I don't worry about money. Yeah, I got to save up for retirement and all that. But I remember I couldn't afford lip balm. You know, I couldn't. I remember, like I can't afford Subway. that fear, oh, am I going to make rent? That kind of shit that goes away. And I know corporate America and everybody is like advertised limitless number of things and services and travel and lifestyle and all that. But at the end of the day, dude, the freedom and the mental health, it's like getting good sleep. Let me tell you, it's very similar to getting good sleep. You don't know how high a standard of living having good sleep in, which I talk about in the book, Zero World Problems. It kind of doesn't cost you anything. You don't realize how high a standard of living simply not worrying about money is. But you don't need billions of dollars not to worry about money. You need to cut your expenses down. And in this young lady's case, bust your ass off for about a decade to build up the financials to mainly pay down your living expenses via a mortgage. But once you get rid of the debts and you don't have any recurring monthly interest payments or loan payments, that's your initial upfront bust your ass off now. And once you have a debt-free life, minus a mortgage, because most people are going to have that, the feeling that comes where you don't have to worry about money beyond retirement, you can't put a price on it. It's the same thing as getting good sleep. Like, I love sleep. Sleep, dude, ladies, fuck you in my past who kept me up, not even to get a hand job. Oh my God. I would trade sleep in for every woman. Every nightclub, every date, every bullshit. I sleep. Guys, you want to be in a happy mood. Ladies, you too. All right. Fuck the opposite sex. Go get some sleep. That would be, and just like this lady here, where fuck the partying and the girl boss, I'm going to work hard and pay off my debts. Wow, it magically led to a better relationship. I guarantee you sleep will do the same thing because you'll be in a better mood, you'll be happier. And then girl like, hey, you want to go out? Nah, not to get a handy. No, I gotta go to sleep. Oh, sleep's very important to me. Well, what would help it if wouldn't you want to stay out a little bit more? That would require sex, but we're not right. You're only going to give me a handy. Well, I'm going to go get some sleep. I'm not going to go out with you and stay out in a nightclub making out on the dance floor. We ain't going to go have that. I got to get sleep. Making out with you just to get blue balls or sleep. Let me think. That, and it doesn't cost you anything. Spending less money doesn't cost you anything. Getting sleep is sacrifice. You give up added work. That's true. Oh, sleep. Sleep and no financial worries. Dude, that's a standard of living. Oh, it's a wonderful standard of living. And when the gal said, yeah, I don't worry about going out, I don't. I wasn't always that way, obviously, but, not exactly a lot of high-end restaurants here in Rapid City to blow your money on. Vegas, yes. But it's like, I need a Sonic burger. I don't worry about it. Like, oh my God, can I afford it? Or I'm trying to think of something that air. Let me show you the standard of living where you focus on sleep over blue balls and cutting your spending. All right. I got a yard. There are invasive weeds. Now, I'm not a purist about keeping my yard all perfect. Right. But I don't want weeds choking out the grass that I spent weeks doing. Now, I can go buy the high-end spray, chemical spray over at Warren Chemical, the place where they small towns, you get one thing. Oh yeah, that's the place. Or I can pull the weeds. Now the chemical, depending on how much you buy, is pretty pricey. It's like $50 for a little thing. And that's supposed to handle whatever, an acre. Uh $50? No, I'll go pull my weeds. So now I'm looking at spending 5 hours pulling weeds instead of dropping the $50 on the chemical. Well, it's $10 an hour, which in the days when you were younger, yeah, that was more than the wage I made. Of course, inflation adjusted and not the case. But do you want to pull weeds for 5 hours? Or isn't it nice to just like, nope, buying the spray and then you go out there and you spray it. And spraying only takes an hour. That's what I'm talking about. Sleep and minimalism. You're going to be richer than 90% of the people out there. And if you want, you can go get the book, because there are world problems that goes over all of it there. All right, that's enough. Let's go to the super chats, because I got to go buy flashing. Today's super chats go to the flashing fund. Ken Rose, $2. He says, hello, Ken. SJ, 279 Canadian. Green flag, never went to college and no debt. Wins? W's? Wins. Yes. I don't mind. The paradox in defense of women, you boys ain't ready to marry them at 25 either, right? It's because women keep voting to enslave us all, and we have to get college degrees and da-da-da. So men aren't financially ready. Ladies, if you could stop voting and forcing us to get degrees just to go work a job, we could be in a good financial position by our mid-20s, but I know. Girlboss. Immigrants. Ah! What do you mean the native men can't afford us? I'm going out with Pablo. He cares and he deals drugs. He's so much more romantic. So the girls aren't. Me and Adam Piggott disagree on this, and he's like, "They should 18 getting married, spitting out babies." I'm like, to who? Who are they going to marry at 18? And on top of it, in other words, there's like this at minimum 4, 5, 6 year period. Most young gals ain't getting married, so you got to go do something. And instead of, well, what'd you do? Oh, I lived at home and I worked at the barista thing, and I didn't like get a skill or a trade. I'm like, nah, you get a skill or a trade. Accountants. That's what you want, accountants. So yeah, they come into, if they had a little bit of debt, but they were whatever, computer programmer, engineer, whatever, I'd be like, okay. But yeah, if they got no debt, ladies, look, it's not that hard. Be thin, be feminine, pretty, hot, whatever you want to call it. Be nice, have no other man's kids. And then that right there, you're already top 1%. But if you ain't got no debt, holy shit, Batman. Dude, you'll have guys lined up. I mean, you won't want any of them because they're fiscally responsible and great. Look at that girl over there. She's fiscally responsible. You're going to get a lot of Ward Cleavers and Chad Elkins, good, stable, intelligent, responsible, professional men. Ew, I know. T-Rash, she's got to be. But yeah, you're going to get, dude, the no debt thing. Every guy be like, she ain't got any debt. What, none. No car payment. You got a credit score of 780. That's hot. Femboy Fantasia, $10. Miriam, The Case for Mr. Good Enough was written by Lori Gottlieb. Yeah, that was like 10, 15 years ago. It does talk about numbers and fertilities. It was published in 2010. The reviews called it incel propaganda. I remember Miss Gottlieb, and she, in her defense, was a very intellectually honest woman. Says, yeah, I screwed this up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she went against the feminist imperative. Well, I mean, doesn't she have a family, though, at least? I mean, now she's middle-aged, probably my age, right? Well, at least she's got a family. And we know where it's going. We know generally how it went because of the decrease in the fertility rate, birthing rate. We got it. You girls chose your career and yourself over kids. That's fine. Not judging. I wish women would unburden themselves with that worry. It's like, look, either acknowledge up front it's going to take effort, work, and sacrifice, right? You're going to have to give something up. You don't get to have it all, or not, and make a decision. But once you make the decision, stop worrying about it, right? Like with drinking, it was if I was going to drink, I'd always have this guilt like, wait, look, you're an alcoholic. You shouldn't be doing this, da da da. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to enjoy the drink. Same thing with ice cream today, I guess. Look, if you're going to have the ice cream, don't feel guilty about, oh, it's not healthy or it's got carbs or sugar. Enjoy the fucking ice cream. And ladies, there are benefits to having a childless, uh, not married, lack of a better word, spinster life. You get to travel, you get to not deal or answer to society's expectations. You are truly free. You can do whatever you want. But don't, well, I kind of wanted it. Like, in other words, you can, even though I think it's agitprop to a certain extent, all the women bemoaning that they can't find a man, da da da. Why don't you stop that? It's not doing you any good. Just leave. Go. You're like, yeah, I could find a guy, or there aren't any men, but I'm not going to let it get me down. Froggy, 10,000 Korean won. Imagine late 30, 40 plus year old woman successfully got pregnant from government funded IVS and ended up having an autistic Down syndrome kid. Artificial womb dystopian future looks better than not. Dude, that was not, it's not, and in defense of a handful of articles I've read, they pointed out that was not the silver bullet it was supposed to be. There are drawbacks. It's a gamble. But then it's funny, you see, I've seen both articles within the past 3 years where one article is some woman crying that all of her eggs didn't survive and now she will be barren forever. And then the other one is like, I'm 58, just had a kid. You could do it too. And it's, well, ladies, I'll tell you who's lying to you. Women and leftists, right? I think men have been pretty consistent. Hey, have kids while you're younger because that's nature. We're not the ones giving you the conflicting message. That's your frenemies. All Democrats, all women. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Aaron is 5'7" and weighs 140 pounds. No, I am 5'9" and I weigh 150. I'm taller than Rareb. Uber noob, $5. Oh, hey, Atham, check the text. I'll tell you guys the story. This is funny. So Chad's Chad's girlfriend, texts us. It says, hey, wish Chad a happy birthday. And I'm like, what was Chad's birthday yesterday? I didn't know. Keep in mind, I've missed my birthday twice. Why? I was working overnight shifts and then fell asleep on my birthday. Not while working. I would just go on work into my birthday, not know it was my birthday, sleep, wake up the day after my birthday. Like, what's familiar about this date? Why? Oh shit, I missed my birthday twice. And I texted Chad. I'm like, you give a shit that I didn't remember your birthday? Like, nah, dude, I don't. To this day, I don't know my dad's birthday. Don't know my stepdad's birthday. I don't know. I don't know anyone's birthday. Atham, I don't know your birthday. You know what? I don't give a shit. Uber noob, $5. Are public markets now a graveyard for founders and private equity at exit companies when there's no juice left? What does that mean for investing? Well, the goal to sell in a public market is to make more money than you would in the private because there's more money that can be uh, raised to purchase it, either through equity raising or borrowing or just regular investors who got cash. It's just a bigger market than the private market, but I don't know. I'd have to do some research and find out when a founder of a company wants to sell or private equity takes over these businesses, creates a portfolio of, say, oil change companies, which we did last week or 2 weeks ago, and they try to bring it to the public market. I think private equity has performed so poorly and have so mismanaged the private companies they've taken over that when they try to go public, now, don't get me wrong, Wall Street is pretty fucking stupid. They all got each other's dicks up each other's nostrils. That's what they do. Just go to Goldman Sachs. It's just dicks and nostrils. All like, my God, what's going on? Oh, this is how we're the number one investment bank. And they occasionally get caught with their pants down, like .coms and the housing bubble and all that. But usually They like to make money, and they have analysts that will go through and look in and say, "What the fuck is this?" Say, "What the fuck is this?" And that's why a lot of private equity companies are failing. I'd have to look it up, but they are not failing in no small measure. I wanna say it's either 40 or 60%, some statistic out there. It's either out of all the corporate bankruptcies, like 40 to 60% were private equity, or 40 to 60% of private equity funds themselves have gone bankrupt. It's a shockingly high statistic. And so, you know, douche canoe Dylan comes in, "Hey, bro. So my dad, he lent me some money, bro. And I went and I bought a bunch of, what would you buy? A bunch of restaurants. I bought Perkins, bro. Perkins, bro. And we fixed it up because I'm like a fucking managerial genius. Hey, Goldman Sachs, you want to buy from me for 8.7 billion? Goldman Sachs going to tell that fucking entrepreneur to fuck right off. Goldman Sachs isn't that dumb. They may have dicks up their nostrils, but they're not that dumb. What does that mean for investing? I don't know if it means anything for investing. I would not invest in private equity in general. Whether you're the private funds or private equity is trying to sell it to you on a public market. I just wouldn't. But to your rank and file retail investors like 401k or whatever, it's irrelevant. If anything, if a mutual fund you own in your retirement fund was dumb enough to buy a mutual fund or have a mutual fund be part funded by private equity, that might have an effect. But I think private equity is going bye bye. I mean, it'll always be there, but dude, it's so 2023, dude. Dre, $2 can't be sponsored by the Carlson School and Big Mike. That's right. Reen, hey, what's up, buddy? $5. Cappy thinks humans can't fall in love with things. You're right and wrong, Reen. You're not wrong. You shouldn't fall in love with things, but yeah, I can see people fall in love with things. Here comes AI women into the environment. The question is, what's the difference between these women and a bot? That's the real question. I think, well, I just did a video not from a dating or courtship angle, but from a content creation angle where real human beings are making authentic videos. They're human made videos. They're not AI, but they're so desperate to follow the algorithm and they themselves are not very intelligent people that it turns out to be indistinguishable from AI generated slop. And I've said that before. If you just do the thing that's popular and follow, like we just talked about it. Oh my God, my name is Trisha and I majored in journalism and I'm a feminist and like I totally vote Democrat and I live with daddy. You're not human. I can't fall in love with you because you effectively are software. You're just a bot. There's no soul. The writers of She-Hulk sucked so much because the writers had no galvanizing real human experiences. They're just a bunch of privileged women who came from the suburbs and hated patriarchy. That's it. That's why it sucks so much. So you're not wrong, Reen. AI, look, I'll tell you this: AI is nicer, right? Now, I haven't gone to the AI chat or whatever, but AI will treat you kindly if you ask it to. It will be polite. AI will show up on time. AI won't yell at you, like I imagine, or lecture you about the patriarchy and privilege, right? So it's better than, and I'd say 80%, maybe even 85% of Americans are so brainwashed, mindless NPCs. Yeah, at least AI is polite. It's better than human. But falling in love with, I don't know. I and you know who you should ask Turd Flinging Monkey. He's the guy who's on. He has the foremost philosophical observations about forming relationships with inhuman objects. And I gotta, in his defense, if you ever tune into his YouTube channel or his podcast, um, he's happier than the average guy. Like again, we get back to that monkey experiment where there was they would take a baby monkey, they would remove the mother, and there'd be a cloth mother monkey and then a wood mother monkey, and it would have milk, and the baby would only go to the milk to get the milk to survive, but then would go back and curl up to the cloth monkey. In both cases, they're not real mother monkeys. But when you had the cloth monkey in there, the baby monkey did better. Still needs its mom. I wonder if there's a lesson there for humans. You girls just outsource those kids to daycare. They don't need their mothers. So yeah, I guess AI. Look, we can all agree having an AI girlfriend, which is not there, it's not, is better than having a relationship with the mean, unloving, vile, feminist type of woman who just is a problem and is painful, causes you pain. Uh, but that is not a critique of AI. That's a critique of human beings. That's how bad human beings are right now. Yeah, generally AI is a probably healthier relationship. Not physically, obviously, but intellectually, and I can't even call it intellect because it's not intelligent. It's informational. But if you were, I'll just be honest, hundreds of dates I've been on, the vast majority of them were painful and a waste of time. Why? The girl ultimately didn't want to be there, or I'll provide acknowledgement. The girls might have been nervous themselves. In either case, the vast majority of my dates were wastes of time. I should just stayed at home, played video games, or got some sleep. Having a pointless, frivolous conversation with an algorithm or software that can at least provide me information, like it has access to the internet, so it can give me information, that would have been a better use of my time. I would still say I do not have a relationship. Like, oh, my friend AI bot. Let's call him Charlie. Charlie Cappy's friend. AI friend Charlie. That's not a real human being. I don't have a relationship. But talking to Charlie would have been a better experience than 85% of my dates. No joke. And I think women could say the same thing, probably going on. I don't know. I've never dated guys, but I got to imagine guys are kind of boring too. And girls are going to have a much better time talking to AI bot. Oh my God, you're so amazing. Tell me about your day at work. Oh my God, AI bot loves me. He listens to me talk. Oh, that is amazing. I too think the pink shoes would go well. What? The AI girlfriends be definitely programmed differently than AI boyfriend. I got a question for you girls. So let's say you had your perfect AI boyfriend, right? He doesn't have to be programmed all that much, right? He just has to say, "Wow, that's interesting. Amazing. Oh, cool. You're so smart." Right? He just cuz he won't talk, right? Just you want to talk all the time. And in the woman's perfect relationship, you girls do 98% of the talking, and it's just 2% of the time the guy saying, "Ah, yes, I agree. That is good." You could have the Ed McMahon bot. Ho ho ho. Yes, you are correct, ma'am. Yes, you are correct. Yes. We could just put a record on repeat, and you girls could the cartoons or whatever. It should just be some tape. Wow, that is amazing. You are beautiful. Just this bailiwick and duct tape AI bot made out of cardboard and some lollipop sticks. So for 8 million, he's so understanding. You are correct, ma'am. Beep. Rewind the tape. You are beautiful and wonderful and intelligent. Beep. You are correct. You are so smart and beautiful and intelligent. I agree. Yes. Oh. But I wouldn't call it a relationship. It's a conversation, maybe, but it's not a relationship. Raymond, thoughts and minds. $5. Only millennial men or women I know that are even remotely close to happy are married and have kids. I'm not kidding. Well, yeah, that's what you're designed to do. Even I know that. I've never wanted kids, but I knew that long ago that basically that's what I mean, you're here for that. And deep down inside, no matter how much women think they don't want kids or are told they don't need men or think they don't need men, which in a very literal sense is both true. You girls don't need either, but don't think it doesn't come. Like it could even be the right choice. Like they could literally, it could be intellectually honest. Women could want girl boss career, whatever, more than they want a man and family, right? That could be true. There still is the opportunity cost and the ruining and lamenting of it. I would just point out to women, whether you made the right choice or not, if you are postmenopausal, it's over and stop lamenting about it. And stop, because we don't want to hear it. Frankly, that's it. We don't want to go get Ed McMahon bot. He'll listen to, I am sorry. Oh, that is too bad. You are beautiful. Yes. Colin, $5, full-time remote contractor here. I'm 1,000 miles north in an RV on a lake for 6 weeks to avoid heat. Done it for 3 years with the girlfriend. Listen to Cappy Kids. Yep. You're 1,000 miles north. What are you, in Canada? I rode through Idaho and Montana past couple of days. Oh, it's beautiful. Dude, and yeah, we came off the mountains. There's a heat wave. Me and my buddy, we came off Sawtooth Lake. When we got back to the car, it's like, it's warm down here. What? Reen, $5. I think TFM would have argued you can't fall in love, but you can't. Argued you can't fall in love, but you can't fall in love with modern women bot either. So it's just a substitute. Well, and that's kind of my point. It is a substitute. That is a correct statement. Look, just because you were born human doesn't mean this thing up here is conditioned to be human. Right? Ladies, listen to me. No one loves you if you're just this standard, common, indistinguishable program. I have that. I have another man's kid. Like, dude, it's not unique. You, especially your thoughts, right? This gal Olivia, I'm very impressed with, which is that I am going to take agency and action, and I need to work 2 jobs. There's a human being there. That's another reason she probably had success. Not only being responsible, having her finances together, but there was an initiation. There's a soul. There's a human in that mind. Every girl out there, though, not only are you just mass-produced Jennies who are indistinguishable from other women, you will never make a decision. You just sit there, wait for everybody else to do something. Well, look, if you're not going to participate in society, whether that's friendships or work or romance, well, then you're not human. And you are indistinguishable. And then I hate to say it, yeah, you just become a tool to master a good debate with. Because who can fall in love with you if you just like, I like Hillary Clinton. Get the fuck out of here. I just think we should help the poor. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God, I love sex. I want to go down on my husband in the church parking lot after we praise God. Hello, wait, what? Not only because that's hot, but it's like, wait, that's different. Oh, wait, there's a human in that body. But yeah, compared to regular, normal, oh God. And so I'm not too hard on women. Let's go to the bar and watch the game, bro. Oh, fuck. I can't be friends with you, man. I just can't. Oh, did you see who they traded? Dick Suck Johnson for Billy Bong Bobson? Good night. I'm going to go play some video games, man. Oh, my God. Here's what I'm talking about. I hate to pay someone a compliment, especially when I'm in a fierce competition with Erica Shanta Williams, my rival, my arch nemesis in the Fun Wars. My criticisms of my arch rival aside, here's a unique woman. Not all you going to meet her, okay? But Obviously, look, she's a cowgirl. She's out in Texas. She's an entrepreneur. She's got the hustle. She can spar. Like, if you want to see something fun in it, just go on our Facebook feeds. We kind of give each other guff a little bit. Erica Shanta Williams is not Girlbot. There's only one of her. I'll tell you that. And you know what? I hate to pay compliments. She's a joy to talk to and interact with because there's a fucking human being there. Anyways, subscribe. Erica Shanta Williams, 45 to 55-year-olds at church saying they always wanted kids. Lady, it's over. Just enjoy your vacations. 2 older guys, 50 plus at church saying the same. Well, and Erica, you might have more insights because you're female and you hang out with more women than the average guy does. To me, it's irrelevant, right? What women really wanted is irrelevant. What choices did you make? That's all men and the rest of society can respond to. What were the choices you made in the real world? Now, I've always wondered that, because I have other women who have female roommates, and they say all these women would cry themselves to sleep, blah, 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 blah. And, maybe you did want kids. Maybe you didn't. I don't give a fuck. Is it Tommy Lee Jones? There's the singer Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones? Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. He's the actor. Great quote from The Fugitive. I don't care. Ladies, that's too fucking bad. We don't care what you wanted deep down. So that's not our reason. Think of how lazy and childish that is. Well, you got to figure out, you got to realize this is all a bluff. And we're just girlboy. We just deep down inside, we really want you to ask us out. But it's just this big facade. And stop acting like bitches. All right? Stop mutilating your face. Stop putting piercings in your fucking nose. Did you want to get married? Well, do you want to have kids? Well, start fucking acting like you're not. It's a big ruse. It's a girl boss bluff. Sucks to be you, I guess. Erica again, $2. Heading to Idaho, Yellowstone, having more fun. Hey, let me know if you need advice on what to do out there. I don't know where you're going into Idaho, probably the Grand Tetons. But if you make it up to Stanley or you're up into the Idaho mountains, not necessarily the Montana mountains, dude. And let me know if your boyfriend is with you. I don't want to mention his name. No reason to have him looped into all this. Boy, so you're going to be on the west side. I was going to say if you're on the east side of Wyoming, stop by and say hi. You have fun. There you guys go. Link below, a couple resources for both men and women. Bachelor Pad Economics, the financial advice Bible for men and women who are bold enough to read it. Zero World Problems. Fucking get that one so you know why the fuck you're getting up in the morning and you got something to do and you're not depressed. And then, my Amazon affiliate link. assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. Do all your shopping through that link. Cappy gets a commission and a cut. Oh, and Ray, I don't know if you're still listening, but I bought some supplements through your Amazon affiliate link because I can't use my own. That's why I use Ray's. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.